Plaintiff Edward Jones says he was a troubled youth who used drugs and went to jail. But all of that changed after his son was born. Edward claims after a one-night stand with the defendant, she told him she was pregnant. Then she dropped their son off at his house and never came back. He's suing for their son's medical bills and emotional distress. Defendant Nicole Allard says after her son was born, she suffered postpartum depression, and she left her son with Edward because she thought he would have a better life there. Nicole claims she didn't see her son for a year after that, and she feels she does not owe for their son's medical bills.
Start with you.
I'm 25 years old. I was a troubled youth. My mom died from HIV and cocaine. I didn't know who my father was. I was in and out of foster care, suffered from sexual abuse and emotional abuse. I had no regard to the law. I was arrested a couple of times. I did weed and I used to drink. Everything changed when I found out I had a son and he came into my life. I met Nicole in 2011. It was a one-night stand, and she wrote me on Facebook in March of 2012 and said she was pregnant. I responded back to her and I told her that if the child is mine, I would take responsibility for my actions. And I explained to her that it takes two to have a child. So if it is mine, I would take responsibility.
Now, how far did you go beyond high school? Did you finish high school?
At first, no, I didn't.
Okay. When did you?
I finished high school in 2013. I went back and got my GED.
Oh, great. What have you done since then in terms of...
I worked 2 jobs to take care of our son, and I do the best that I can.
All right, good. You may want to go a little further with your education so that you can get a better job.
Yes, sir.
But, a higher paying job. What type of jobs do you work?
I work at Burger King and a call center job.
Good. You're a good example of a young man taking care of his child, working at Burger King. How long have you been there?
I've been there since 2008.
All right. Have you worked your way up to maybe assistant manager? There you go. All right. Good example. You're a good example. These guys have all these obstacles. Most of them certainly don't have the obstacles you've had in your life, and you've overcome it. Very good. So you may not have to go back to school unless you want to get a bachelor's in business or associate's in business, so you can go higher up the corporate ladder. All right? Keep that in mind. Ma'am, you want to give me some background?
When I was 19 years old, I had my first child. Then I suffered postpartum depression because my family disowned me because I got pregnant, didn't get married. At the time, his father was stable financially and was stable with a house, and his family was willing to help him. So I made that decision to let my son live with him to have a better life because I didn't want to deprive my son of a life that he could have while I'm, struggling with my depression. I wasn't working at the time. In that time frame, I did get a job. I was a pharmacist for 3 years, so I was then able to financially support him.
Pharmacist, as in?
A registered pharmacy technician. I assisted the pharmacist with
technician.
with the medication.
All right.
Did that for 3 years, which that helped me support our son. So I did good with that. Still
you paid child support?
Yes, sir. So I still suffer from postpartum depression, which I'm dealing with that now.
How long old is the child?
He's 3.
Okay. It lasts 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know.
I have other issues that I deal with as well that with the postpartum depression, so it's kind of like all in one type thing.
I don't know whether it lasts 3 years or not, but sorry to hear that.
Oh.
If that's the case. And have you maintained a relationship?
I see him every 2 weeks.
Good.
I go to my parents' house and I visit with him there, stuff like that. So I am in his life.
All right, what else you want to tell me on the background before we get to the specifics?
She's not referring to the child that we have. As far as spending
I'm referring
weekends.
to I have another child as well. He is 12 now. So my
All
first
right, well,
son.
let's start over. Okay, now hopefully you can give me as much information on the child in question.
Okay.
as you did on the
Sorry.
child that we're not here about today. The child you all share.
Oh, the child that
Give
we
some
share, yes, sir.
background on that.
I met Edward at a party, like he explained, in 2011. One thing led to another. 9 months later, I had Nico. I did suffer, again, postpartum depression after having him because he did have complications and everything when he was born. So that kind of set me into a big depression. I contacted Edward on Facebook a couple months later, letting him know that he had a child and everything. He agreed to meet up. He gave me his address. I drove to his house. I saw that he had a nice house. He was stable financially. And I asked him to watch Nico for a couple hours, and I didn't return. I felt the reason why I did not return back was because I felt that Nico would have a better life with him, being that he was stable with everything, and I wasn't. I was staying at a friend's house here and there.
How often would you see the
I actually did not see them until like a year later,
Okay.
when I ran into them at a
You ever
park.
get treatment for your postpartum depression?
I don't have insurance, so I occasionally like drink and every now and then smoke trees, which I know that's not the right thing to do, but that's just kind of like balances out my depression.
All right. So you get that free? Your
No.
weed and alcohol?
No, I don't actually. Like my friends would
You might
have
want to
it.
use that. I know you say you don't have medical to pay for, I guess, therapy or any medication they might prescribe for your postpartum. You don't have money for that, but you got money for weed and alcohol. So, go ahead, sir. Tell me about the medical bills and the emotional distress you're suing for.
Our son is disabled. He was born with his arms backwards, so his arms are deformed. Here go pictures if you would like to see.
Sure.
His arms are deformed where everything is back. His arms are backwards. And I have to take him to therapy and pay out of pocket for his therapy, out of pocket. And here's the medical.
You don't have insurance either?
With him, my insurance just put him on in 2000.
But you pay out of your pocket without insurance?
Yes.
Okay. As you just heard, he pays out of his pocket.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir. So how does she owe you for medical bills? Is there an order by the state directing her to pay?
I have tried numerous attempts to put her on child support, and my last attempt, they sent me this in the mail because they would.
So she doesn't pay. She's never paid
wasn't-
you child support.
No, they wasn't able
Okay.
to serve her.
All right, because when you were talking about the child support earlier, you were talking about.
12-year-old, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And this is that they can't find her, so they dismissed it without prejudice. All right, what do you say to this, ma'am?
I feel that I shouldn't have to owe him anything because he is his biological father and he is financially able to take care of him. And right now I'm not. I'm trying to get my life back together. I'm enrolled in school, in
All right,
college.
what about owing him? You might not feel you can pay him now. What about owing him now?
At this point in time, I'm not financially able to
I know, but
owe
that's
him.
what owing means. Owing means when you're financially able, that's when you pay your debt.
But when I'm financially able, then yes, then I don't have a problem paying him for what he is paid out.
All right. And, sir, the emotional distress, how does she owe you for that?
With our son, me being the single parent and her not owing up and taking responsibility, I have to get off work to take him to doctors, go back and forth. If he's sick, I'm just one person. I can't play mother and father.
Well, she says her illness is why she can't participate in the raising of the child.
That I really don't understand that defense due to the fact that everything that I've been through, and if I'm able to step to the plate, why shouldn't she?
Like I said, I don't know the nature of postpartum depression. I don't know, you sound like you said you deal with some other issues. I don't know if those are medical or psychological, but hopefully there's a reason, a legitimate reason that she can't help at all.
Well, first of all, I need to get myself together.
To babysit?
Do I babysit?
Yeah, do you need to get yourself together to babysit?
No, as far as mentally, emotionally, I need to get myself together because with depression and everything else I'm going through, I can't take care of another human being.
Okay,
If
so
I'm
you
not,
think
if I
you
can't
would-
take care of myself.
Okay, you would think you would harm the child?
I wouldn't harm him, but I wouldn't be giving him my full attention like I need to as a mother.
Okay, well, he's not getting any of your attention now. All right, I'll be honest, ma'am. Sounds like you're kind of throwing up a few excuses there. I'm going to grant you your judgment, $3,570, so you do have judgment. Are you being treated, or you need help being treated?
I do need help because I don't have
All
insurance
right, we'll
now.
have a staff find you some, because there are some programs that help individuals without insurance who suffer from that condition. All right, you have to follow up yourself as well. Good luck to you. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I want to get myself better so I could be a better mother to my child. And I apologize for putting you through the stress and everything. No, I'm going to make it right.
It's okay. I just need you to own up and take responsibility. He needs his mother.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
We have reached out to Nicole on many occasions to assist her in getting medical attention. However, she has not returned our phone calls.